What is up, guys? It's Ian here, hitting you with it on this amazing, beautiful, yet freezing Wednesday. And today, I want to talk about some of my favorite video games of all time. We got a lot of them, got a lot of things to say about them. I'm hyped to make this video, and sorry if I sound especially tired. Literally like an hour before recording this, I got like the worst allergies ever. And my eyes looked like I had smoked the dankest of the kush, but I assure you, I did not do that. I just rubbed my eyes really hard, and they were itchy, and Benadryl, and I'm exhausted. Holy crap. So, I'm just gonna go right off the bat. I don't have an exact favorite game. I go back and forth all the time. It's really, really difficult to narrow it down. Even like a top 5. So I'm just gonna go with whatever comes off my head. So, I think one of the go-to things that I say is like for one of my favorite games is probably like Mario Sunshine, because I grew up with that game. It's really fun. I think it holds up pretty well, not perfect. I did mention in like me and Bill's Let's Play, or like one part Let's Play of it, that it really hasn't aged well, and it hasn't, but it's still fun to go back to. And yeah, it's just a fun game. But A Hat in Time just came out, well, not just came out, but it came out like a week or two ago, and I'll be completely honest, I like this game more than Mario Sunshine. I just feel like it has much more personality than Sunshine. Like, the game, I just feel like there's every single piece of A Hat in Time is so memorable, so just perfectly crafted into this masterpiece of a game. It is truly amazing. If you haven't even have heard of it, you need to play it. I'm probably gonna make a review of it, and I don't think I've ever done a review. It's just that good, and you really need to play it. It's just, it's so great. One game I'm hyped about though is Mario Odyssey, and I feel like I'm gonna love that. I feel like that's gonna be one of my favorites, because I really love 3D platforming collectathons. Although I've never played Banjo-Kazooie and I've never played Psychonauts. I have it on my Steam, Psychonauts, but I've just never played it. But I really want to. It's gonna be lit. And I bought it for like 99 cents. Another game I really love is The Last of Us. Holy guacamole, The Last of Us, I did not expect to be as good as it is. I remember being really hyped about it when it was coming out for PS3, and I was hyped for it, and I was like, yo, it takes place in Pittsburgh, that's where I live, although it's only like one part of the game. I remember just thinking it was really cool. Then I got rid of my PS3 and I didn't care about it. Then when I got the PS4, about a year after that came out, it came with The Last of Us, and I love that game. I've beat it like 3 or 4 times now, and it's just so great. The story is just beautiful. It's a work of art. Every time that intro just gets me, as well as every other part of the game. It's just so incredible. It's just that I can't say anything else. It's a work of art. Speaking of works of art, Breath of the Wild obviously is up there on my favorite games list. Why? Because I waited 4 years for that game. Back when it was, first announced that it was going to happen at E3. It might have been like 3, I don't know, it feels like 4. I was super duper stoked and hyped for it. And it was just, the delay after delay after delay, it was just like crazy that we waited this long for it. I remember specifically, like, right after the not right after the E3, sorry, I just cracked my knuckles. First time I did it all day. Wow, I really cracked everything. There were so many speculations, and like, what's going to be in the game, what's not going to be in the game, this, that, and all those things got me hyped. I was just crazy. Then, whenever they showed all the E3 footage, wow, all the E3 footage at E3. I can't believe I almost said that. When they were showing off all that E3 footage, I lost it. Mainly because I watched like 5 minutes of the Great Plateau footage, and that was it. I didn't watch the gameplay. I just didn't want to spoil it for myself. And there's still things in that game that I find out about, like, today. Like, some tricks, some things that you can do. You know, like, if I ever watch a video on it now, you know, because I beat the game, I have like 100 hours in it, if not more. And I know that's not a lot. But, I see that, like, on a video, I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know that that was a possibility. I'm just making something up. I don't have like an exact example, but you guys get the point. And it's just like, that game is so worth the wait. It's really just bam. Moving on to my next game. Now the series itself isn't like I would say my favorite. It really isn't. But if I were to talk about the Pokemon series, my favorite of the Pokemon series is Soul Silver, like hands down, any day. Now it's not, like I said, it's not like my favorite game. I wouldn't put it on like any list, but it's just something that I want to talk about. I was always a Gen 2 and Gen 3 fanboy. Gen 4 was okay, but it wasn't my favorite, and I don't really like any of the other ones. Not that I like hate them or had beef with them. I just didn't like them as much. In Gen 1, that was actually my first generation that I ever like started and beated. Oh my god, I'm tired. But I never like I just felt like it was the first game. It wasn't fully there and expanded upon until 2 and 3. I don't think I have an exact favorite, but I will say the remake for Gen 2 I feel like is a little better than the remake for Gen 3. Mainly because Gen 3, I don't like the whole like new engine that Pokemon runs off of. And don't get me wrong, it's great. It's an amazing remake, the Omega Ruby. But I just didn't like it as much as I did when Soul Silver came out. You know, when Soul Silver dropped, I was on that. Like, that was my life. And I remember just watching videos on that all the time. It was just rambunctious. I don't even know if that's a word. That's cool. One series that I'll definitely throw on my favorites is the Bioshock series. Not so much 2. I didn't like 2 all that much. I thought it was a little unnecessary. The first Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite are just, like, first-person story-wise are fantastic. I love the mechanics of the first game, and I always just go back to that all the time. I'm actually thinking about getting the tattoos that your main character has in the first Bioshock on his wrist, the chains. I'm thinking about getting those when I turn 18, but that's still a big what if and maybe and all that stuff. Couple more games I just want to throw off the list, and as you can tell, I'm really into story games. Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, I don't like Grand Theft Auto 5 as much as 4. I like 4 better. I'm probably going to get death threats for that, but it's okay. I just like the story on 4 more, and I love how there's DLC for that game that actually expands upon the game and makes it more worth it. Like, there's no single player expansions for GTA 5, and there probably never will be, and I could care less about GTA Online. So going back to 4 is always like a breath of fresh air, because, you know, Nico Bellic as a character I think is really just a good character, and I just like that game more. And don't get me wrong, like, the game mechanics on 4 are outdated. 5 has that just down. Like, shooting is satisfying, driving feels smooth, the graphics are much more amazing. Like, they're still mind-blowing today, GTA 5, especially on PC, than GTA 4 will ever be, even with Ice Enhancer. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, 4, the story is just amazing. Even like when my girlfriend's here, you know, if I'm ever like, hey, what do you want to do, she'll literally say, hey, you should play some GTA 4. I'm kind of want to see her that one off, because I showed her the story and she even dug it. Now, two more games, and that'll be that. I have a lot, and I'm just kind of speeding things out, but it's okay. Batman Arkham City. This is a game that really got me in the comics. I was never really into them growing up. I never watched superhero movies. I never read comics. None of that stuff. But I bought Arkham City about a couple years after it came out, mainly because everyone just told me how great it was. Like, Ian, you need to get this game. What are you doing? Back in middle school. And I just didn't care to get it, but eventually I did. I had a few bucks on a GameStop gift card, and I bought it. I played it, and I didn't really care. I made it through like, I would say, the part where after the church blows up, and what is it? It's like during the mill, and there's it's during like that mill thing, the metal making plate, the factory. It was really early on in the game. I got stuck, and I just kind of stopped playing it. But then I watched a Mike Matei review just out of nostalgia, because I've been watching Cinemassacre videos since 2007, and it made me want to play it again for some reason. I don't know why. So I picked it up, and I just no-lifed it, and then I went on vacation for like 5 days, and all I wanted to do was play that game and buy Arkham Knight after it. I come home, sit down, I beat it. So it was almost like it was just a 2-sitting beat, and I just was in love with it. I was in love with the story, the gameplay, the level design, the open world aspect, and the collectibles. Getting all those Riddler trophies is something that I don't think I'll ever be able to do, but I think I will someday. I don't know. I think the last game on my list, just because this could go on for years, but Forza Horizon 3 is up there, mainly because I love, I really just got into cars within the last year or so, but I don't know why, but this game just really clicks with me. It's so strange. I love how all the cars are real cars. And Burnout Paradise, which was my favorite racing game, all the cars are they're just not real cars. They're based off real cars, but the names are different. There's obvious changes. But Forza Horizon 3 just takes a ton of aspects that I like, such as being you're the boss of the Horizon Fest, and that's really cool. So you're managing all that, but you're just doing your open world racing, and all the customization options in that game are hands down the best I've seen in such a long time. All the online play, everything about that game is just amazing. I have so many hours in it. I'm actually trying to see right now if I can see how many hours I have. I don't know if I can. But it's such a highly recommended game on my list. And if you get it on PC, make sure you have 16 gigs of RAM, and make sure you're pretty beefed up, because me personally, when I was running the game at 8 gigs, it was terrible. But then after I put more RAM in, that's when things got really well. Now I'm trying to see if I can find how many hours I have in this game, and it doesn't quite look like I can. That's really disappointing. Microsoft, you need to get on this. If there really is no way to see how many hours you have in a game with this Microsoft store, then that's butt. That's all I can say. That's really just a butt. I don't know. If I find it, I'll just put it up here. It's not that big of a deal though. But yeah, hey, I can talk about games for the next 50 million years and still have plenty to talk about. So hey, this was Ian. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. See you next week, and make sure that your shoes are tied, because if they're not, you'll probably trip, and that's not good. And I ain't tripping. I don't know.
Hey guys, hope you really liked that video. And if you did, please
like, comment, share, and subscribe.
You should also check out our Twitter,
Facebook,
and Tumblr.
See you again soon!